It is October 3rd, 2022, years after Jesus RIP'd. I'm your host, George Martin Carmona, and I'm here to cover what just happened this weekend in the NFL and college football. And I had to find somebody of a caliber that was, respectable for all the followers watching. I have hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, thanks to you guys. And so I went out and I said, hey, let me get one of the best people I know to cover NFL Week 4 with me. Dante, what's up?
What's going on, y'all? I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate you reaching out to me, bringing me here. This is pretty dope. I'm excited, man.
I'm super excited too, because it doesn't happen too often that like the people that you played sports with actually like you went into sports journalism.
Correct.
And you're a photographer for a WNBA championship winning team.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to you.
Appreciate it, man. That journey was different, man. So I'm taking that with joy. Because I spent about since they got here, I was dedicated to it and not even just putting in work, man. So
right.
It paid off. No
doubt, man. And now, if you had the opportunity to cover the Raiders this year, would you have?
I would love to. I'm still waiting.
I think they need you, Dante. We, as we're recording this, I had to announce this because the last time we did a NFL weekend recap, I do have the game going on currently in the background. We're watching the Chiefs and the Buccaneers play, and it is 38-23 with about 44 seconds left in the third. The Buccaneers just scored a touchdown, which is huge. But I think this is like a perfect segue since this game's going on currently. This is a rematch of a Super Bowl from a couple of years ago. Patrick Mahomes is going off. Have you gotten a chance to catch the Chiefs this year in some of their games? Because it's definitely not the same Chiefs team without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, so I'm going to agree with you on that one. It's definitely not the same Chiefs team. I've caught a couple of their games. I feel like there are opportunities to where Patrick Mahomes does show his flashes, but it's not as much as he would have when he had Hill.
Right.
So I feel like the field used to be spreaded out. Defense used to be
right.
In trouble.
The holes were a lot more open.
Yeah, so now he's like, okay, I got to go inside to Kelsey now and then work outside. And that's how it's been looking. That's how it's been working for the Chiefs.
I didn't really understand the Juju Smith-Schuster trade, if I'm being honest. Like, I think Juju's a better receiver than just being a part of Kansas City's machine, because I don't think he is a Tyreek Hill, but I also think he's good enough to be the number one receiver somewhere. But how can anybody be the number one receiver when you have Travis Kelce that's for sure going to get targeted way more than anybody?
So I'm actually lost on him. I'm guessing that was probably their replacement for Hill.
Right.
I don't see Juju as a number one whatsoever. Probably number one TikTok dancer. But
right.
but I don't see the logical sense because he's not even, if you look at his stats aren't even good with the Chiefs. He'll make a play here and there, but it's kind of like he just was like, okay, let me get to the Chiefs because this might be my best option for a championship.
Right. And that's a very realistic outlook. It's just because Patrick Mahomes, after watching what he's done to the Buccaneers defense, and I think the Buccaneers defense is top notch in the league. I think they're pretty fast, and they just have run into some pretty tough teams. I think Green Bay was anytime you play Aaron Rodgers, that's a tough game. They played the Saints. I think the Saints defense, if anything is good about the Saints, it's their defense. So they've been able to maintain and hold off, but Patrick Mahomes is fucking blowing the lid off them tonight. So let's transition to the Buccaneers. What do you think the Buccaneers are going to do this year? Tom Brady's last year. How do you feel about Antonio Brown posting that he the hug with Giselle? That happened literally 45 minutes before the show.
Honestly, I feel Antonio is just, in a way, he's just petty. I think AB somehow, some way, just wants to be involved in anything.
Right.
You know? So I kind of think it was to throw Brady off. You know, in a way.
And if this score is any indication, it kind of does. I heard Tom Brady and his wife don't live in the same house anymore.
It's a marriage thing, you know. It's marriage. She wanted him to be home, you know. She wanted him to be done with football, and he didn't. You know, when you see two different things, it gets a little shaky in the home.
Right, and it's gotten to a point now with Tom Brady too, where what if this season is just really bad? Like, people will look at it very negatively. Like, he should not have done this. If he finishes, let's say the Buccaneers finish below 500, they don't make the playoffs.
See, I was gonna go there. I was actually gonna say I don't see the Buccaneers making the playoffs. Yes, this is Tom Brady's last year. I do think that he shouldn't have, but I don't think it'll be a negative impact. What I think it will turn out to be is, Brady's old. I mean, yeah, he's old, but you know, I think that would be like
the cop out.
The only cop out that he'll have as far as as far as the style he's been playing. You know,
right.
So, I mean, it's Brady.
I think, to tie it back into you thinking that the Bucs aren't going to make it to the playoffs, I do think the Saints, with Andy Dalton, he started at quarterback today. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, last time he played was with the Bengals. No. Last time he played was with the Cowboys.
Yeah, there you go.
I forgot he's just been a little bit of a journeyman, but I think he's the perfect backup to Jameis because Jameis is too mechanical at times. I think he overthinks playing quarterback. Where Patrick Mahomes has that flow of I know what this would look like looking really cool. Jameis watched a fundamental video and it's just stuck on 3-step drop back, to ear. We're going to just do everything robotically and not make any big plays.
Hey man,
That's just my IB.
Jameis is goofy. Okay, that's number one. Number two,
he's super goofy.
Andy Dalton hasn't really been bad. Now, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're wrong." Da da da. I mean, he's been injured,
right,
a lot throughout his career.
He was on a lot of shitty Bengal teams.
A lot of them, right?
No offensive line,
none at all. In fact, they just got one and still can't block a fly. But that's neither here nor there. For Andy, I think, honestly speaking, he should be the starter. As far as Jameis Winston starting for the Saints, there's nothing there offensively. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I've seen it. I fucking watched them week 1 against the Falcons. I was in Mercedes-Benz Superdome just being this isn't entertaining.
No.
There's no I have a lot of faith in this guy. Even though he did lead him to a win, there is still a bit of, I'm not sure. I'm not sold. And I think Andy Dalton did a great job today. They put him in position. I woke up at fucking 8:30 this morning because it was a London game, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm waking up and I'm oh my God, we're kicking a field goal to fucking tie the game. I woke up, literally the field goal was happening. And then I see the ball go up, doink, doink. And it fucking missed. And it kind of was the worst way to start my Sunday.
I mean, I don't think so, though, because if you think about it, you would, against a Vikings team who offensively is probably outstanding, okay? When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're off. You know when they're off.
Right.
Okay? It was 61 yards.
It was a long fucking kick.
It's 61 yards. Now, your kicker isn't Justin Tucker, but
he's pretty close, man. Will Lutz has done it for a while.
Yeah, he's pretty close to it. It kind of sucks, man, because it was a double doink. It wasn't like it was like a one doink and then it went in. It was a double doink and then it went off.
There are smaller field goal posts in London. I'm starting the fucking conspiracy theory. The field goal posts are literally 6 to 12 inches smaller in width, and that's cost us a fucking win. That's
man.
bullshit. I'll start like I want to measure it. If this is like the people that say we didn't go to the moon, like, fuck, I haven't been to the fucking moon, so we haven't been to the moon. I haven't measured those field goal posts, so those fucking field goal posts are smaller than they are in the States. I'm sticking to it.
My man said they shrink it.
They put it in the dryer.
To be honest with you, I don't know because I feel like the London field is smaller in a sense. If you look at it, it looks a little bit smaller.
Everything, yeah. Because maybe they go in like meters, right? Because they're not like they're not doing inches. Like we sent the instructions in English and like inches and shit, and they were like, oh, we'll fucking just kind of
we'll do it our way.
We'll round it down because we fucking suck. All right, enough of London.
I was gonna say, but if he makes that kick. Would that be the kick of the year?
Yeah, because being that the field goal posts are smaller, like think about how much difficult that kick is. He would have made it from 61 in smaller field goal posts. Like
what a double doink.
That's if crazy. That ball just
it was right there.
Double doinks kill me, bro. They kill me.
Man.
Here's the last thing I'm gonna say. Shouldn't somebody always be running down like you should have like a person designated to sprint. Just in case there's a big enough bounce, you can catch it and score a touchdown. You get what I'm saying?
Would that be illegal though?
I don't know. It'd be pretty fucking cool.
That would be pretty
I don't think
cool.
I don't think it's illegal.
It's kind of like a field goal block return.
If a ball hits off a field goal post and it bounces and you catch it in the end zone, is that a touchdown? Like if a quarterback misses a receiver,
I would say count it as 3 points instead of an actual full touchdown.
I would say count it as 10 points because that's fucking hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's like
I guess if you are doing it, if it's helping you, I guess, yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea,
right?
But do you know how many people would actually try that?
It's just a new way of thinking about the kicking game.
Well, I guess it would have to be a touchdown because if you take a field goal block, if you do a field goal block return and somebody misses it, they're taking it to the house. That's 7. That's 7
or 6. And or make the fucking extra point.
And an extra point.
Yeah. We'll come back to this. I think they need to. I think that, and I think they need to start. We need to start playing football a little more like rugby. Like
I don't think
a lot more laterals.
I don't think everybody's ready for that though.
I think like at least one lateral a play. Like have a lateral guy. So at least you're just doing it once, you know? Like a coach can tell you like, hey, if it's there, be ready for it.
Yeah.
I bet these guys would just be good at it without even like practicing it. I bet they'd be pretty fucking good.
I'm only going to say there's probably going to be 2 teams that's going to be actually good at it. And that's going to be the Chiefs because they kind of do it now.
Right.
And the second one is probably going to be I'll take that back. It's probably a few good teams with the laterals.
The Dolphins?
Giants, you lateral to Saquon. The Panthers, lateral to Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
It's just a few teams.
You have like a trailer person. That's the way I envision it. Is like you have somebody following behind whoever has the ball, just ready for the fucking toss.
See, I'm probably going to stick with the Chiefs and Dolphins because all that speed.
I want to now touch on. I cannot believe how bad the Broncos are. Actually, fuck that. Let me go in chronological order. We talked about the morning game with the Saints. Next game was the Bills versus the Ravens. And you're wearing your Ravens hat right now.
You know it. I got to.
I still think you guys are the best team one of the best teams in the league. Top 3 for sure. Yeah,
I still think we are. I still think we got some things to cover, but when we adjust, we adjust. We do got a lot of rookies out there, offensively and defensively. That game actually kind of hurt If you're a Ravens fan, because you're going for your team, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But as a former football player, you're like, you go for it.
Right.
You know, and I kind
The
of got
controversial call.
Yeah, I gotta hide that side because like it was mentioned earlier, like we've been in that same position multiple times, and I kind of think having aggressive coaches actually makes the team better because I think right after that we didn't lose a game for
Right.
I don't know how long, and we were shutting teams out. So
It's definitely because here's the thing. If you are a spotty aggressive coach, your team doesn't know how to feel. Like every time I watch the Ravens, the vibe and the feel that I get is like this team wants to put up a fuck ton of points. Not only are they going to put up a fuck ton of points, but this team is like on attack mode.
yeah,
4th and 4 is green. Like
Yeah.
we're going.
yeah,
Even 4th and 5. And I'm like, I like it. I like the aggressive play calls. I think you guys are a solid receiver away from being like scary.
and that's where I'm like, all we need is one receiver, just one.
God damn it. Get
Just one.
this team a receiver. Rashad Bateman can't do it all.
He can't. Oh man!
Mark Andrews is slow.
But he gets open.
He's open all the time. So many fantasy
I
points from
just
that guy.
I wanted Odell, and as a matter of fact, with all the injuries we've had at running back, I've even said, forget it. If we're gonna have all these injured running backs, at least trade for Christian McCaffrey. At least we know the running game will still be great, and we can play the play action pass with our 3 tight ends.
I am struggling to remember who's the running back for the Ravens right now because it was Mark Ingram.
He
was
not there.
But then he went back to the Saints.
Correct.
Ray Rice killed somebody. Not really. Almost. That was bad time for you guys. Who is running the rock for you guys right now?
Right now we just got J.K. Dobbins back. This
yes,
is his second week being back, and my goodness, it looks good. It looks great.
He got injured at the end of last year, huh? Or was that or was it like
middle?
Okay.
It was, actually, I think it was at the beginning. I think we lost Gus, Marcus Peters, and J.K. Dobbins to all ACLs right before the season started.
Here's another thing. This is not the controversial call. This is before the controversial call I hit you with. Because when you said Marcus Peters, I instantly had the little flashback today of Marcus Peters like fucking throwing a hissy. He went, "What the fuck we doing?" He like, "What the fuck we doing?" Like he was super upset. But I think it was because people on the field thought you guys were gonna let the Bills score. You guys should have let the Bills score.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
But I think there were some people on the Ravens defense that like wanted to still play tough. Because like technically speaking, with the timeouts and stuff you guys had, if you guys would have played like hard-nosed defense, it wouldn't have been like they couldn't have got the first down. Like so Marcus Peters was heated.
See, a lot of people want to say Marcus Peters is this, that, and the third. I actually love that from a football player.
Okay.
And here's why. One is because we didn't kick the extra point. We went for it, right? So say we kick the extra point, we kick it off to them. Now they have to scramble and actually score. They have to go down and score a touchdown. You make our defensive play, right?
Right.
But that doesn't happen. Get the interception, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're going down the field. Here's the thing. There was 1 minute and 50-some seconds left when they gave that ball to Stingley to run 8 yards into the end zone. And as a matter of fact, if you watch the Bills, they're like, okay, they're going to let us score so that they can get the ball back.
They were smart. They were smart with it.
They purposely was like, okay, we're going to hand the ball off. The half of our defense was okay. Owe, I respect it. You're a young guy. Really
That's a D tackle,
you edge rusher.
Yeah.
So you're really not, you really just want to play. You want to make a play.
Right.
But that wasn't the right play. Mind you, we don't have timeouts.
Nope.
So why even go for a strip? Let them score. Now we got to go down and score which we can do, and then push it for overtime.
And I think you guys would have went down the field fat. Like, the thing that's the best part of your team is you guys have the MVP of the league on your team. I've said it over. Like, he's done it once. He's on pace to do it again. He fucking wills you guys to be in position.
That man is Lamarvelous. If we had a generational of quarterbacks, you know how, your parents be like, nah, Joe Montana is the greatest one because that's who I watch. Or Mike Vick,
Mm-hmm.
I believe for our generation, it is Lamar.
Yes.
Lamar is our parents' Michael Vick.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep, look, I even got a little Michael right here right now, dude.
Hey,
I kind of like, he was my favorite player growing up. I think Lamar is, like, to say he's better than Michael Vick, like, is an understatement. He is so much better than Michael Vick. I think he just has never had a fucking offense around him.
That's it.
Crazy.
That's it. Now, if you put Lamar Jackson on that Philly team, they're going to the Super Bowl. They might actually win back-to-back Super Bowls.
Right.
You put Lamar Jackson on that Falcons team, they probably do the exact same thing for the Falcons team. But that Philly team, they definitely go down and win the Super Bowl with Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, my God.
Like, that team in general was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of was like Hollywood before we traded him was kind of like our Deshaun Jackson. And I kind of think that's what sucks.
He dropped the ball too much.
I was just going to say that. But he dropped the ball a lot.
Too much.
And I feel this is where we need that receiver. And this is where Lamar said it today. When we hit that run, you'll know when we hit our run.
Right.
He was like, we've been down this road before plenty of times. And he said the year 2019, we were down that. We were 2-2. And then we won the rest of the game straight into the playoffs.
I know without a doubt you guys are on track to do what I expect. I think you guys are a Super Bowl team.
It's going to be Eagles versus the Ravens this year in the Super Bowl. If I'm wrong, you guys have my @ name.
Say it.
@Duna, for real, the number 4, okay, and then real. And you can just let me know. I think that's the Super Bowl.
It's pretty valid. Here's what I have about the Eagles, and this is the only thing I'll say about them. They've played not that good of teams.
They have the easiest schedule in the league.
With that being said, like, Jacksonville is a good team. I think Jacksonville, like, gave them the fight that they were expecting. But I think here's the thing. It was a very wet field today. I think if you have, like, agile type players, which the Eagles are fucking filled with them, it doesn't really take a lot of magic to, like, get loose from those guys. So I think the Eagles have played shit teams, and I think the Eagles are a fucking loss away from going, like, 4 losses in a row. And it's like, it would happen, like, with that, like, it would be close games, but I think that's just a part of the cycle for the Eagles. 4-0. The fucking Eagles haven't done that in ages.
No, this is the Eagles that we're talking about. Like, no, ew, bro. They're trash.
Literally,
to me, they're trash, and their schedule is trash. I mean, they're going neck and neck with the Lions. But then I can't say that because last year we went neck and neck with the Lions, and Justin Tucker hit the field goal.
Lions are an anomaly team. We can't really, because the Lions play hard every week.
We can't pick on them. But you haven't really played anybody. The only thing that scares me is the good teams in the NFC. Are they going to be healthy when it comes time to play in Philly? Because Philly can get past any team that's not healthy.
Just with the speed. They got a lot of fucking speed, and they're a smart offense this year as far as, like, their balance between run and pass, their RPOs. Really do like it. I like that what they have to present. Now, I do think the NFL is definitely like and now that we have a month's worth of what the fuck you do, like, now that gets a little dangerous. Like, these upcoming weeks, this is when the underdogs, this is when, like, the fucking Houston Texans will play the Eagles and then beat the Eagles by like 2 touchdowns. And you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Them underdog stories, they're coming.
I think it's this upcoming week, without a doubt, because it's like there's enough film now to know what a team is.
I'm going to give it give it 2 weeks. We'll first see the first underdog.
Big underdog upset.
Big underdog upset.
And it'll probably, people think like the Raiders beating people are an underdog upset. I think the Raiders are a lot better than the record states. Shout out to them getting the win today in an ugly fashion. The Broncos are fucking horrible.
I don't
you don't like the Raiders either.
I don't.
You thought it was a toilet bowl today.
Yes. I thought it was just 2 teams that just are terrible. Terrible. Like, if you have to like list the teams and put them in the bottom, I'm not going to say the Texans are at the bottom. I'll give you that.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to say it's the Broncos and Raiders. It might be tied neck and neck.
I thought the AFC West was going to be a lot better than what it was.
A lot better. And actually, in January, I actually said I felt the Raiders would still win the division, right? I changed my mind after they got the coach Daniels.
McDaniels.
I changed my mind right after that.
He doesn't really, in my opinion, he's not a head coach.
He's not a head coach, and I'm going to stand on what I said in January. He's not a head coach. If you wanted a head coach, you should have went and got him when he was at Michigan. You should have went and brought Jim Harbaugh back into the NFL. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah, you're saying, oh, well, he's not good at college. He might not be good in the NFL. Dog, he went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers with Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
That team was stacked.
We should have done whatever we needed to do to get him here.
You should have. So
they settle for Mike McDaniels, who, like, he's kind of just been a coattail guy. Like,
yeah,
life's easy when you have Tom Brady and fucking Bill Belichick to bail you out.
Oh, and the defense to save you
many
of times, right? So my comment was, just pretty much I don't believe in the Raiders anymore. Like, I don't. You went and got an offensive coordinator and moved him as your head coach. Mm-hmm. It's going to take some years to actually be good. Denver, you're just trash. Russell Wilson, you're getting old. I don't know if it's the age. I don't know if it's Sierra. It could be Sierra,
Yeah.
It could be Sierra. I mean, it would be Sierra for me. That'd be my weakness, dog. I'm just saying.
Life is pretty sweet for him. Like, he definitely...
He doesn't have to play football.
He
doesn't have to play football.
And with the offense that they run, it's like he doesn't play football. It's like they're trying to be like the pound it down your throat offense, but then here's the thing. Russell Wilson was always in the gun in Seattle. And what I've noticed a lot of is like he is fucking out of the I formation or like single back, and it puts him in bad spots because although he is like an off the run type quarterback, when you don't get people open, like people underestimate, like how do good quarterbacks and good receivers like have connections? Those receivers are busting ass downfield. Jerry Jeudy, nowhere to be found. The other fucking quarterback for Cortland Sutton for the Broncos. I mean, he's their best kind of bailout guy, but in past years, like I feel like I've always been able to rely on one sort of Broncos receiver, and I'm not seeing that this year. And it's like, I thought it would be very evident. I thought Russell Wilson was going to do what he normally does with Seattle, like have like an MVP type first half of the season and then fall off. It might be the reverse this year.
You got these the teams that Russ has had have always been good though. Mm-hmm. Always been good. Probably besides the last few years, but that's because they've had no O-line to protect him. But it's kind of like he went to the same situation with Denver. Denver has no O-line. I don't care how you look at it. They have no O-line. They're not going to be able to protect him. 1. 2, your run game. Okay, Denver's run game is it's horrendous, but it's saved because of Williams.
Right.
Okay. Williams saves
because Melvin Gordon is fumbling the ball. 4 fumbles this season already.
I don't know how you've fumbled that many times. Right? And you're in the red zone. You fumbled them all in the red zone.
Not a good look for Melvin. He's having a really shitty. That's the type of shit that a running back does, and then the next year he's bagging groceries.
First of all, he should have been bagging groceries last year and the year before that. I'm just gonna put that out there. He fumbled all last season, all the season before that, so he should have been done. But somehow Denver loves him and continues to bring him back. For the Raiders, I don't know if I can be disappointed as a fan for the city or disappointed that my prediction is actually becoming more true. That the Raiders are going to be more terrible. I feel they're over. How can I say it? They're overfeeding Adams instead of actually playing.
Right.
Today was like probably the first time I've seen the Raiders actually just play.
Start looking at other receivers.
Hand the ball off to Jacobs. That has been the Raiders' MO for the previous seasons. I don't know what changes. Is it because of Adams? Because, I mean, Adams is getting locked down by second-year cornerbacks, by the way.
Patrick Surtain is
amazing.
Wow.
After today, I'm amazed because Adams could only get open off of comeback routes, and they're kind of like button routes, like a
some quick,
2-3
but like when the dude's playing like a deep third zone, and it's like we're letting that up anyways. You know what I mean? Like if you make a tight play on it, you make a tight play. But I do understand, like when you are, the fucking main guy, it gets to be obvious, and it's something in which if it isn't there, force it. Like Derek Carr he's not that great of a quarterback, and he'll want to force that and enact something that doesn't need to happen. Whereas like you see it with Tom Brady, you fucking definitely see it with Patrick Mahomes. It's like everybody spread the sugar. Like
spread it out.
Everybody's getting a little bit of fucking love.
So I'm going to actually Carr reminds me of a quarterback that a few years ago they tore me up a new one where I said I felt like Kirk Cousins shouldn't be in the top 50 of the top 100.
No, so he is.
They tore me a new one a few years ago. But my comparison to that is I feel Derek Carr reminds me of Kirk Cousins. Okay? Here's why. When Derek Carr is on, he is on. He's throwing it deep. He's throwing it short. You ain't even going to see not 1 ounce of the run game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with Kirk Cousins. I'm going to give it to Jefferson. Adam Thielen, you may get 2 touches, but Jefferson's getting his ball. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel that's where it comes to the similarities for Derek Carr now because he has Adams. Derek Carr has been forcing Adams to be that guy that Jefferson is in Minnesota. As far as decision making, they're the same. But yeah, when they're off, they're completely off. You're like,
you want to know those?
You're terrible.
They're just 2 wholesome, good white quarterbacks that are not going to make any sort of bad noise in the public eye. They're just they look good on posters. You know what I mean? They just look good,
and then their fans go crazy on you if you ever disrespect them.
Right, because they're about the city. They're about the look at those. That's what it means to be a Raider.
Right, Kirk Cousins is going to lead us to a Super Bowl.
Oh, Derek Carr doesn't wear eyeliner. His eyelashes are just that dark.
Hey, you gotta love these fans. But those to me are the 2 comparisons I can give. I don't feel like Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Neither do I feel the same for Derek Carr. 2 teams that are totally built differently. Vikings have a good team, but I'm disappointed in what the Raiders did this offseason. You need the players for your defense and your offensive line. Why get rid of everybody that you had drafted or that you even had in general? Like, I understand the 2, they make mistakes. Life happens. They got to live with those decisions. But don't get rid of the people you actually need on your defense. So you trade them for picks. Now, it's kind of like, to me, that sent a message to me. They're not playing to win games. They're playing to be in games.
There's a huge difference.
Huge difference. They don't care if they win or lose. They just want to be in the game.
Very similar to the Lions.
Very. And I agree with the line. I agree with the Lions did because that team's actually looking good this year.
Right.
Last year, they just wanted to play.
Well, that's just all about the
games.
coach. Like, sometimes it really is about, like, the way your coach comes off. Mike McDaniels is not a Raiders coach. Rich Bisaccia, the fucking intern last year, that's a Raiders coach. Like, there's, like, an edginess or, like, you know, somebody who's rugged. Mike McDaniels just looks like he fucking, honestly, just, he looked like a kid that got bullied. Like, he got bullied a lot in school. That's what he looks like.
Honestly,
people make fun of him.
I would think so. Like, I mean, maybe because he's been in England for so long and he's always had Tom Brady.
Right.
You know, maybe he doesn't have that edge. I mean, maybe Belichick didn't give him that edge he needed.
Yeah. Because, like, maybe that's what happens with, like, Belichick type coaches. Like, he was there so long that he's like, this has to be, like, the recipe. Like, I just have to be stoic and creepy. But it's like, that works for Bill Belichick because...
That's Bill.
Right? But, like, who are you?
That's the thing that everybody has to figure out.
Mike McDaniels, who are you?
Who are you, bro? Like, who are you as a coach? What are you going to
like,
show?
What do you do for fun, bro?
Like we need to see some aggressiveness.
I want to see him, like, lifting. Like, I want to see Mike McDaniels start, like power cleaning, like, start coming out with some videos of, like, hyping up the team. He just doesn't seem like what the Raiders want and need. Like, the black hole, Allegiant Stadium, those fucking fans.
They need toughness. I feel like he'll be like, oh, that's a good set. Not the God dog it, that was a great set. That's what we need. Like, you know.
I need a coach that's gonna run out into the middle of the field and, like, get in a motherfucker's face.
Yeah, headbutt me with my helmet on. Dude. Go ahead and grab my face mask, headbutt me. You know, like
feel fucking reckless.
Like, don't be nice. Don't be like, all right, guys, we got a game today. Just go out there, make some tackles, catch the ball, go ahead and score a touchdown every now and then, and let's just play to play and see where the chips fall. Like, no, I don't need that.
No,
like the prime example, the Jets head coach. As a matter of fact, he was the 49ers defensive
coordinator.
Yeah, defensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. Now that's a coach that I can play for because they're aggressive. You see what the Jets have been doing?
Tough.
They're tough. They're tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a tough team.
Because that defense is good. Like, I mean, obviously, defense translated because of Robert Salah being that defense coordinator. But, like, yeah, no, dude, it's crazy that there's the two different personality types, like defensive-minded head coaches, offensive-minded head coaches, like Cliff Kingsbury, like Mr. fucking Posh, Sean McVay, like another, like, Mr. Perfect. Even though Sean McVay, out of all the offensive coaches, gets me fired up. Like, Sean McVay fires me. Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. That's it.
It's like a tempo action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I'm watching a movie when I'm watching it. Like, he's like an actor. He's so small too. Like, how do these players respect these tiny ass coaches?
I guess it's just I don't know. I guess
because you get paid to.
Yeah, you get paid,
you get paid to shut the fuck up and listen to that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like you get paid to, but then I also think it's like one of those things where their position. You know, it's like, all right, this is the head coach. Let's see what he got. Right. And I think as long as the head coach, you know, puts their foot down on what they want to do, then they go and go for it. Mm-hmm. Like, prime example, the Ravens today, John Harbaugh wanted to be aggressive. Mark Andrews, I'm a dog. This is his quote. I'm a dog. I would want to go for it too. So I'm glad he went for it. So it's like their coaches are a little short, small guys, but
good teams have that, right?
Yeah, good. That's where it starts. It starts with aggressive coaches. I mean, you should know that.
Let's transition. Let's finish here with. I appreciate that. I do know what aggressive coaching looks like because I was an aggressive fucking coach for a little bit. But anyways, college football. The UNLV Rebels. You used to report on these motherfuckers, and where they have. I was there. I saw it firsthand. They weren't that good. Get a new facility. Marcus Arroyo with the fucking Jordan shirt. Look at me. the fucking slot machine. Cha-ching! It never loses, that slot machine. The Rebels are the best looking Rebels team that I've seen in the last 20 years. Dante, are they going to make a bowl game this year?
That's my hope. I'm actually going to hope that they make a bowl game this year. Where did Marcus Arroyo come from?
Oregon. Right there, right behind you, the little Oregon dog.
Right?
Yes.
All right. So, when you bring somebody from that type of college football realm, like, come on, it's Oregon, okay? They've done good. They've done bad. They know how to put up points. That's number one. So, you bring him to UNLV, whole different, everything changes, okay?
Culture shock.
Everything changes. Now, did I feel that it should have happened the way it happened? I felt like it should have happened before. Okay? Before they only won 4 games. I felt like it should have been before that, okay? Marcus Arroyo has the UNLV Rebels playing amazing football. All right? A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, they didn't really play anybody. Like, their wins don't really count. First of all, Northern Texas is actually really good. If you keep up with college football, Northern Texas is good.
Right.
Utah Aggies, yeah, it's Utah Aggies, but that's still a good team, still a good program. When they lost to Cal by 7 points, I'm intrigued. I'm listening now.
Right.
Because if you can't put enough respect on who Cal Berkeley is as a college football team, you have no idea what UNLV could do.
Right. And it's here's the thing too. You could say they played nobody. Points are points. Regardless. And they put up a lot of fucking points.
The one game that I'm ready to see that will really test UNLV is the Notre Dame game.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they play
and
Notre Dame.
I think Notre Dame is not what people thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. They're finding themselves. I think it's like that's one of those college football games where you see the spread. Like Notre Dame will probably be like 16-point favorites, and you're like, I think the Rebels might win outright. Like I think that could happen.
I feel like that's probably going to be an upset too. I feel
it'll be interesting to see how big of a difference they make it, because I think UNLV is good enough to only be a 10-point like underdog. Like I think UNLV will keep a game close.
I think they can, but will the NCAA, like the people who do the sports
bet it, like set the lines?
Yeah, set the lines. Do you think that they're going to have UNLV that close to Notre Dame?
I think,
especially after they just played New Mexico.
So UNLV gets to play my brother next week. UNLV plays San Jose State, and San Jose State almost beat Auburn at Auburn. San Jose State has crushed, or like they crushed Wyoming, and then they crushed Western Michigan. So it's like this upcoming week is definitely to see who's the best team in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
If UNLV takes care of business, and I think it'll be a close game, but if UNLV like wins convincingly, I think that this is a game, because San Jose State's defense is fucking tough. And I know you probably haven't seen any San Jose State games, but boy, oh boy, they're just watch their D-line once they play the Rebels this week. Like Brumfield's going to be running like a motherfucker.
I just want to see how the game's going to unfold, because man, it's just been crazy to see how good the Rebels have actually turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
people weren't expecting it.
Weren't expecting it. When I was covering them a few years ago, well, quite a long time. I mean,
yeah,
I'm like 2 years removed from college, so Sanchez actually had them teams. I mean, they couldn't win, but they could play good. They had players.
I think it was like a heart thing. Like,
they had
we had a little more like heart, but Arroyo has players. Like Arroyo has dudes now. UNLV has size.
They have more playmakers than Sanchez has had previously.
For sure.
I mean, Sanchez was always run game. Mm-hmm. He had Lex. He had Charles. He
Right.
had Amani Rogers, who was now with the Commanders as a tight end.
Yep.
He's had Gabe McCoy. He's had a lot more players.
He had Tao for a little bit. Tao Lutulele played a little bit in the league, but
it's what I'm saying is now
no stud receivers.
And I think that's what they were missing.
Like no stud receivers. Like I was just watching year in and year out. Like Darren Woods was supposed to be the guy for one of the years. Then Mackay was pretty good.
Yeah, Mackay.
But there was nobody that was like, this dude's gonna get 10 receptions and 100 yards.
And I think they were kind of unfocused as a receiver group. You look at this receiver group now; they have height. They're focused. They're ready to go. The running game is powerful. This time around, the defense is playing freely, a lot more better. But for them to have a quarterback, I mean, Amani Rogers could do arms and legs. He can carry a team arm and legs.
I think Brumfield's a little better.
This is crazy. The passes that I've seen have been passes that you will see in the NFL from a Patrick Mahomes, a Aaron Rodgers, a Tom
on the
Brady.
Run, flipping the hips.
On the run, straight to the corner. How high do I want to throw this? Because you have tall receivers now.
Right.
So how high do I want to throw this ball? Is it going to be there on time? And I've seen it a multiple times, game in, game out. And my thing is, I can't fully put my foot on that pedal with UNLV until I see more games than I got to see them above 500. Okay, that's
I feel it.
Give me 5-6 games, W's. I'm a believer.
Full on
believer. 4 wins, okay, you're kind of just the same way as the previous teams.
Right. You can plateau here. Like, if you're not careful, you can slide and lose like 4 in a row.
UNLV has always been known for upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Howard coming down to UNLV and just beating UNLV. That's the
underdog
biggest
in
upset.
history.
Yeah, biggest upset in history.
I think it's hopeful for them. I really do think they'll I want San Jose State and UNLV to make a bowl game. Obviously, I want my brother to fucking experience that. But Dante, it's been amazing covering everything so far, pretty much from NFL Week 3, College Week 5. Please let the people know where they can follow you and find some of your content, because you are still reporting out here. You're doing the fucking thing.
Well, I'm not even a reporter no more, and that's the thing.
You're sitting in the chair right now. You're reporting.
Yeah, I mean, I report sitting and watching games.
There we go. So where can they follow you?
You can always follow me on Instagram at Duna for Real, DUNA, the number 4 REAL. Okay. What I do post is my pictures, my photography pictures. You'll catch me. Yeah, I mean, recently I just did the championship parade. I've always done the Aces games. Aviators, I mean, their season kind of just ended, and I've been kind of busy, so you haven't really been seeing me at those games. But we got some new things kicking off here soon. I'm trying my hardest, to get to the Raiders games and see what I could do. If they let me in, they let me in. If they don't, they don't. It's okay. We're gonna keep it going.
Let's keep this the positivity, though. I think you're there.
Yeah, but that's where you can find most of the content that I do.
Beautiful.
If you guys ever want to see like written content, then you would go into our website, Talk That Talk Media, and that's where our written content is at.
Perfect.
So,
all right. Well, Dante, I have greatly appreciated you coming on. I'm going to have you on again. This was too good.
Hey, man, you got to always bring me, man. This is what the people need, man. We'll have something a whole lot different, because this is great. I've enjoyed this.
I love it. All right, partner. Gridiron Junkeez fans, thank you again for getting us up to 1,000 subs. I am so fucking blown away. I cannot even believe it. One popular short, and then I'm there. And so now we're going to keep on pumping this content out. The football season is just getting started. If you like Gridiron Junkeez, follow Gridiron Junkeez on Instagram and TikTok. If you like me, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. George Carmona. I will see you guys probably on Thursday, where we're going to cover some more high school football and the college week upcoming. Later.